Friends, it's time to show you some of the knives I got on my recent road trip from the Case Master Dealer, Henry's Hardware, up in Land O'Lakes. Now this one here, we're going to set that aside. We're not looking at that. This one, this case, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And we bought that up at Master Dealer Case at Henry's Hardware. Henry was a great guy. He's got a great case dealer up there, stocked with all kinds of stuff. If you want to check out that video, look for this one right here in my playlist, and you'll see all about his dealership and about 50% of his cases I have filmed and on that video for you to look at. Also got this case polishing cloth here from him, and I'll be able to use that in the review today, so that was pretty cool. He only charged me $5 for that, and I think it is a great product and a great price. And let's get ready to unbox the newest case knife I got. And what is the model? Well, it's a number 35813 Cayenne bone Crandell jig Seahorse Whittler, and it was born on March 23rd of 2022. And this one here looks like it will cause cancer and reproductive harm. So we want to be real careful handling this knife. And make sure we keep it away from pets and small children. We don't need them getting cancer, right? Alright, so this was a display model. So we got the warranty paperwork, but not the usual card showing the other current models that are out at the moment. But here we go. Let's check it out. Fixing to get up close and personal with this knife. But before we do, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with any of your friends that might like similar knife content, because that's what keeps the channel going. I appreciate it. Now, I don't normally oil up the knives on my reviews until after we do the initial unboxing review. But this being a display knife, it was pretty dirty. The big Wharncliffe blade was pretty stiff. So I want to go ahead and get a good coating of oil on here. That way the knife shows better than it would have. And it's we can hear the walk and talk a little bit better now that I got it lubed up. And here we go. Now, while we're looking at this up close and personal here, I do want to say that this knife does have a defect. And I'm going to show you that towards the end of the video. It doesn't take away from this being a super cool pattern and a super cool looking knife, but there is a defect, and I'll show you all about that later in the video. But right now, look at this beautiful bone on it. It's just gorgeous. Cayenne bone. The transitions, the pins are perfect. Both sides. This side's a little bit wider than the other side. You know, there's your shield. It's inlaid real nice. And, you know, it's not a super deep jigged bone, but it creates a thin blade. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, is that this knife, even though it is a double back spring on there, it feels like a single blade, like a copper lock or something like that. And that's the uniqueness of this Seahorse Whittler. Now look at this big old sheep's foot blade here, huh? Just how cool is that, right? Look at it. It is just the most unique blade I've seen on a case knife. Here's the Tang stamp on the one side, Case XX. On the other side, USA, the model number, and the SS for stainless steel. We got a blade that's about 2 3/8 inches long, and 2 inches of that is sharpened, and it is just a beefy. And this is a double distal taper. Look at that. It tapers from the base of the blade out to the tip, and then from the spine to the edge, like a Spyderco does. You don't see that very often. And I mean, this is just a strong flat grind. And there you can see the XX a little bit better on the bolster. And I mean, just what a cool knife this is. It feels good in the hand, and it's got a 4-inch handle. So my big old hands, 2 extra large, gives it plenty of room. It's got this downward slope to the blade, which just makes it perfect. Got that little choil there between the blade and the handle, just enough to get a finger in and get your finger right up next to the blade. And like I said, it feels like a single blade case, like a copper lock, but it's not. Let's turn this thing around, and we got 2 little hidden treasures back here. Check this out. What a perfect little coping blade for getting in and doing detail work in your carvings. I got a little bit of my oil left on there. Let's clean that off, but it is about 1 inch and 5/16. Pretty cool, huh? Look at that. Just think of all the little detail work you can do with that while you're whittling a bear or whatever it is you like to whittle. A little corncob pipe or whatever. You can get down the bottom of that pipe and clean all that junk out of there. And we got one more surprise, and here it is. Now, they call this a pin blade, all right? Now, most pin blades I've seen on case knives don't have such a taper to the point. They're a little bit more blunt. This looks a little bit more like a spear point to me, but it's still pretty small, and it's still the same size. This one here is about 1 3/8 inches, and it's just a cool little blade. Here you can see inside where those knives sit. There's your 2 back springs, your brass liners, and everything's nice and clean and tight in there. What a beautiful job, case. Kudos. This is such a great knife. But it does have a pretty big flaw, and I'm fixing to show that to you like I promised. When I started checking out the edge on all 3 blades, they had a huge wire burr. Hear that? All 3 blades are like that. So normally I do a cutting test on these, and I decided not to even try. This knife is going to have to go and be doctored up. I'll do another video on how I correct it. I'm also going to polish it up and polish up those bolsters, and I'll just make another video. But thank you, Harvey's Hardware. Thank everybody for watching the video and checking out this beautiful knife. And before I get going, let me say, if you haven't checked out my One Angry Kid Premium Knife Oil and Protectant, please check it out. It's non-toxic. It's safe for food prep. And it comes in a 2-pack with a polishing cloth. I sell that for $15. And that's on my One Angry Kid online store. All one word, oneangrykid.com. That's how I pay for these knives and purchase them for review. So anybody that goes there and purchases, the money goes towards these videos and these knives and my knife giveaways. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy your evening.